Friends, I'm here today to share with you this journal. It's my Just Because journal, and I have decided that I have finished it. This particular one I have started maybe 2 years and a half ago, and it was something new that I wanted to try because in the past I had worked with journals that were kind of in a notebook, and I found that it was pretty uncomfortable to work in. So I decided to use rings so it would give me more freedom to work. This cover, I bought it at the Dollar Tree. I think it was a package from Little Swap, and I think it came with one and a smaller one that had a heart in the middle. So I used this as the front cover, and then I created the back with a cereal box, and then I decoupaged some wrapping paper. On the front cover, I added the name of the journal. It was done with crafting paper, and I'm gonna share with you here all the pros and the cons of this journal, the things that I did right and the things I didn't. So I realized that the crafting paper faded. It was a little bit more of a pinkish tone, and now it has faded a little bit. And I cut the name with my Sisig machine. So I added this as a decoration, and this is a hair ribbon or a hair clip, also from Dollar Tree, but I thought it matched the cover because it has little golden dots in there. So the rings, or the question would be, how did I feel working with a journal that is kind of in rings? I know it's not pleasant to the view or to the side of it. It was a little bit more comfortable to work than in a sketchbook or in a regular notebook, especially when you get to the half of it. So the experience was a little bit more pleasant to work in, but I was so used to work in a notebook that I felt I didn't have enough space in one page. So the pages of this journal were made with cereal boxes. I wanted to use the cereal boxes because it was going to create some sturdiness that it was needed in order to use the rings, and it was a way of using that cardboard that we usually throw away. So in that sense it really worked, although it takes more space than a regular page, so you have the advantage and disadvantage of that. So with that being said, I'm going to show what I put in the journal. It doesn't have a particular order. I didn't follow a particular order. I inserted pages here and there, wherever I thought they would match, or it would need a pop of color. So the pages were not created in the order that you're going to see them. However, this one was the first one that I created for this journal. So I wanted to put things in here that didn't have any particular reason, and that's why the journal is called Just Because. So you're going to see that in some pages I decided to do a collage about the birds that I see in my backyard, for example. And this is an example of that. So in this particular page, I tried, this was my first try in watercolors to draw and paint birds. And then I added some of the leaves from my backyard. I always like to add nature from my backyard because I think it's part of the process of collecting information from places and special times in my life. So the writing was created with Indian ink, and so the backdrop is crafting paper. So this was my first page. So the second page, and this was the second one that I did. This one came in a particular order. I decided to paint these birds, the cardinals, that they visit my backyard every year. So again, it's a collage. I used the backdrop is a page from a book, and then I painted the birds in watercolor paper, and I glued them on top, and then the writing again is on Indian ink. And I'm sorry, I always have to think about when I talk about Indian ink, because in Spanish we call it Chinese ink. So I always have to try to remember. So this here is a spread where I portrayed the pizza recipe, the Argentinian and Italian recipe that I use to make my pizza. And again, I'm always fusing or kind of marrying the watercolors and the collage and the junk journaling, because I have a passion and love for the two different arts. So I find that I cannot do a journaling page or a journaling spread if I don't include some kind of watercolor. So in this one, I wrote a little book with the recipe for the pizza. So this one here, it was kind of a tribute to one of my favorite books and shows, and it was 80 Days Around the World from Julio Verne. And so I used stickers and a picture of the main character in the TV show, and this beautiful clock, and a pocket with some tags. And this brought me kind of to my childhood. And basically that's why I journal. I like to kind of create spreads that are relevant to me and that hopefully is gonna talk to someone else about who I am and who I was and who I want to be. This one is a very sad page. There's gonna be kind of a trilogy of this page in this journal, and it's about specific period when both my parents passed away in the same month, a little bit over 2 years ago. So I really used art to kind of express my grief. I had always thought about how I would react when that time comes, uh, if that would stop me or prevent me from creating, but it was exactly the way around. This was the first one that I created around that time, and basically it was me crying with my cat. And it's a collage. I used some stickers, and this was created on watercolor paper, and it's kind of a whimsical art, but still it was very done with a lot of grief, and that's what I can remember. This one here is the second part of the trilogy. This is when my father died. So when my father died, I decided to do a collage with his favorite bird. And the leaves here were cut from a book, and then I painted the bird and the birdhouse in watercolor paper, and then I added into the collage, and that's his favorite bird, the hornero. And then I wrote some words about the bird and my dad, and I wrote in there when he passed away. It is done in Indian ink, and it was a very emotional page. I came here to my cottage alone, and I kind of dwelt in my grief, in my emotions, and this is what came out. And you can see that he has some foil paper in there that makes the bird shine. This one here is kind of a memory of a retreat that I went with some ladies, and so the retreat was about the Good Shepherd. So I decided to give it a try and draw some sheep, and then I use this as this is done in watercolor paper, and I use this as a pocket to put some memories of that retreat. So I added some little rhinestones and some cutouts words from the pamphlets that I received in the retreat, and I used this wooden cross that I got at the Dollar Tree, and the backdrop is fabric. This here is a collage, and it was done on top of different papers, and these little drawings or marks were done with gelatos, and these ladies are or were done with a watercolor, and they are done in watercolor paper, and then I cut them out and put them on top of the collage. And basically this was a representation of the angels that we have around, and sometimes we don't even realize. So I used a doily to create a pocket, and in here I wrote about different angels, people angels that I have that have shown up in my life, and they have kind of touched different seasons in my life. These are stickers from Dollar Tree. They are see-through plastic stickers. This here is when I started practicing a little bit more with the watercolors, I wanted to kind of grow in them. And this is a view from my cottage, from the table outside of my cottage. So these are leaves from my backyard, and this time I went a step forward from the first ones that I used in the first page, and I kind of used some glue on top of them, so they are a little bit shinier and they don't break up that easily. So I used crafting paper for the backdrop, and then this was painted in watercolor paper and added into the spread. This is one of the embellishments that I create with my sewing machine, and this is a regular button that I decoupaged so it has a little bit a pop of color. And the stickers for the fall are from Dollar Tree. So this page, let's see which one we're gonna use. Probably this one first. This one is when Queen Elizabeth died. I'm not English, but I'm very interested in the English or UK monarchy. So I have read a lot of books and I have a great admiration for her. So when she passed, and it was around the time my parents died too, so I was kind of, my feelings were out there. So I decided to create a collage for her. So basically the backdrop is a UK flag, and then I painted her, I drew her and painted her and the corgi in watercolor paper, and I just applied it to the backdrop, and then some ephemera that was related to her. And this is washi from Dollar Tree. This here is one of my most recent spreads, and this is a picture of my great-grandfather, my grandma, and his brother. It's a very old picture, probably from the 1800s, and it was reconstructed with artificial intelligence. It's not super clear, but it's better than nothing, and to me it's a treasure. With the picture I created a pocket, and in that pocket there's a little envelope that I had created, and there's a little bit of my family history in here. It's private, so I'm not gonna read it, but I used a vintage map and some rhinestones. So I took advantage of the picture and I created a pocket, and here is some notes about the family. This is a stamp that I created with glue, or a stamp or a seal that it was created with glue, and I painted it with a shiny marker. And then this is the storyline of the places where or where the story started and where it went on. So it went from Spain, Astorga in Spain, and then the family moved to Argentina, in Argentina to Santa Fe, and then to Buenos Aires. I used some buttons to decorate it, and in here I created a pocket. I used real stamps, and this here is like a family album. And let me see if it works, because it has been in the pocket for some time. So you see, you can, let me hold it properly. You can move it and it moves around, but it has been in the envelope, in the pocket for so long that it's not moving the way it should. But you see, it's like this, like this. That's my grandfather when he was young, when he was old with my grandma. And that's my mom in the wedding day with my grandma, and my grandpa when he was old. So it's a way to present family or pictures all together, and it's easy to roll, and you don't make anybody tired by looking one picture after the other. So so this was to commemorate the story of my dad's side of the family, because I have concentrated much in my mom's side because it was closer to me, but the time came to gather all that information in here, hopefully, you know, for my daughter to have too. This one is the last spread that I worked in the journal, and as I said, it doesn't have any order. So this one was to celebrate this fall, and I decided to create this owl in a black backdrop, and it has a lot of foil to shine, to sparkle, and the wings were created with some little leaves from a tree in my backyard. So it has a lot of texture. This page here, or this spread, is to remember the day that me and my friend Donna we went to the Queen's Cup, the Silver Jubilee. So it was like a horse race, and we volunteered there. So I used some of the pamphlets that were given to us to be part of the spread, and this is the thing that we had hanging in our neck. And I used some stickers that Donna gave to me. Yes, so that's how it came out, and this is me with the horse. This here is one of my most beloved spreads that I have created. This spread has a wonderful story. These are my great grandparents from my mom's side in Italy. I came about these pictures because a third cousin of mine went to their cemetery, and he took a picture of them. So I was very surprised to see how my grandmother resembled her mother. So I decided to create a spread about them. So I tried to imagine how the door of their house in Italy looked like, and I decided to paint a door that was opening, like me entering to their story. So this was painted in watercolor paper, and I added it into the spread. So then there's a lot of folding pockets. They are pictures, they have their names and their dates of birth, and then a map of Italy, just to mark where my family is from, which is from the north of Italy. And then it has another pocket in here with their history. Then I created another pocket in here, and this is fabric. And in here, in this pocket, there's a postcard, a vintage postcard from Italy, and it's from May 31st, 1910. And this was given to me by my dear friend Tammy. And there's a little bit of journaling here, and this is things that I would have liked to talk to my great grandparents about. So then I added some pictures in here. These pictures are how I imagined the town that they lived in, and I added some goats because this was one of their jobs, to take care of goats. So what happened with this spread is I shared this spread in a page of their town in Italy, in a kind of a web page. And then the following day I had a lady contacted me through Facebook, and she told me that these were her great grandparents too. She was in France, and I knew some part of my family had emigrated to France. So we talked a little bit, and I found all my family from France that I knew I had, but I didn't know them. So I kind of established contact with all my cousins, and this came about through this page. This one here, I drew a butterfly. This is, it was done with watercolor, but it was done differently. It was on top of gesso. It was a page book, and I spread some gesso, and I painted the butterfly with watercolors. And this butterfly was created because the day that I saw a blue butterfly in my backyard, it was the day that my mom was diagnosed with dementia, and I was very, very sad. It was during the pandemic. She recovered from that, but still that was a very sad day. So I wrote about it in this paper. This paper is stained with coffee and dyed in the oven, and then I used surgical gauze to create this little embellishment here. And here there's a pocket with more butterflies and a little bit of journaling, and there's another pocket on top of here, if I can take this out, with also that can be used as a bookmark, and this was written with Indian ink. It's another sad page. This one here is the third one of the trilogy that I was talking to you about. Again, birds, and this was created when my mom died. I can recall the feeling of the day that I sat down to create this spread. I was very sad, very, very sad. and I wanted to portray kind of her leaving me, and this came out of nowhere. So this was a botanical book, a page from that botanical book, and then I created the birds in watercolor paper and cut them out and put it on top of the vintage page. And again, like the one for my dad, it has some foil in the birds that creates some details in there, and kind of tears with rhinestones. And then this one is about a woodpecker that I always see in my backyard. So it's kind of keeping track of the birds that I see. So the backdrop is a magazine page, and then I painted the woodpecker in watercolor paper, cut it out and put it on top. And then this log is from another magazine, so I did different layers with the leaves and some stickers. So yeah, that was just to keep track of another one of the birds. And this here is from a vacation that we took last year to Mexico. So I wanted to, have a memory of it. So there's quite a little bit of journaling and some things from the trip, like this wristband, another wristband, another one. And I kind of drew us at the beach, and then I added some pictures of us. So it's a fun way to keep track of trips. This one here is from another trip to the mountains, and I used a brochure of a map that was in one of those stands at the hotel. So again, I drew us and watercolor our figures and then put it there. And then I used that little key holder that they give you at the hotel, and I made kind of a photo album in it to remember that trip. I used or I inserted a vintage book page, and then where the key goes, I put a journaling page, and I talked about the trip. And then let me put this back. In here I created a little pocket with a vintage book page, and I saved all the different little things from that trip. We went to a roller coaster in the mountains and a picture, so I used it as a pocket there. So that this is a fun way to collect different brochures where you go, and you can put it all together in a spread. This one here is another of my fall spreads, and I used different materials in here, like different cutouts, and then fabric that I bought at Walmart. So I cut the trees from that fabric and I used them in here, and then I used my pine cones from my backyard to create the Nome Village streets. and some little logs in here. So fall is my favorite season, so I always try to create a spread to celebrate it. And with that, we come to the last page in this journal, and this was to commemorate Christmas. I always like the Christmas sweaters, so I wanted to include them in this spread. And for this, I have some journaling in this bag, talking about different Christmas and customs and all of that. And with this, what I did is I used different cards that I have been given during a couple of years, and I created kind of a journal, so a pop-up journal. So it's a booklet with different cards. So this is one of my favorite cards. It's so pretty. And then you open it and it's a 3D card, and I added more things in there than the card had. And this is another one, another card that I put it in there, so it looks kind of like a village or something like that. So it's a fun way to utilize those cards that you receive through the years. So this one was the last one, or the last page, and I have decided that this journal has come to an end. I don't know, you can call it a feeling. There's still space for maybe 1 or 2 more pages, but I have a deep feeling that the journal is complete. So this last page in here, I will cover it with crafting paper, and then I'm gonna write a note explaining how long it took to be completed. More or less what I explained to you here, I'm gonna explain here, so that future generations know what my intention was with this journal. So I know probably you will ask me if, or how I felt using the ring journal and the thick paper, cardboard as pages. I don't know, I cannot tell you. In a way it is more comfortable because you just take out the page, you work on it, and it's easier than having to deal with a book. But I still love the beauty of a whole book, a binded book. Aesthetically, I like to see a real journal, a real book, and it still felt I felt that still this page sometimes, although it's more or less the same space as if you open a book, it felt that there was not enough space. I don't know why, but that was my feeling. Would I repeat the experience? Well, what I will do is, or what I have in mind is, I will work in a sketchbook, which is as big as this, or maybe a little bigger. I will give it a try. I know I'm gonna find it that it's gonna be big, but I will give that a try. So after working in that, I don't know, if I will get tired of it and come back to rings. I don't know, but it has worked. It's sturdy. The pages are sturdy, so it's not gonna go anywhere. So I think it was a different experience. I hope you have liked this kind of recount of the journal, I hope that it gives you ideas on how to create different experiences in journals, and also basic ideas on why the people that journal do that. I see many people that ask in different groups, journaling groups, why we create journals. I know some people create them for selling them. Me personally, is to write about different things of my life or my family. Many of you know by now that I have emigrated from Argentina to USA around 22 years ago. So this is a way for me to kind of put in one place many stories and family history that I had left behind for my daughter to have, for future generations. So I know again that there's different reasons why people journal. In my case, it is just to pass who I am into future generations. So I hope you have enjoyed this walkthrough. If you did, just leave a comment. You are invited to join the channel. I will share with you when I start working in my new journal. It doesn't have a name yet. I have to tell you that it's going to be again a fusion between journaling and watercolor, because at this point I cannot refrain myself from that, because my heart is divided in two and set in working in both of them when I journal. And then you know that I do watercolors works just by themselves. So I will continue showing that during 2025. My schedule has been a little bit tight lately because, of course, you all know that I work full-time, so life is demanding and probably not as free as when the pandemic was there. That's when I was creating most of my videos, so that's why probably it's taking a little bit longer for videos to show up. But I will be posting here and there, and I hope you enjoy it. You join the channel and you leave comments, suggestions, or questions. Have a wonderful end of the year and the best for 2025.